Hi everyone,
Hello,
I'm Carmel,
I'm Mark.
and welcome to
Karma is a Killer Game, episode 4.
Stick to the Team. We hope you enjoyed the last episode.
First off, I think we need to acknowledge something that we learned after the last episode.
Yeah, so our oldest mentioned another theory about the gods.
Yeah, so our original theory was that the symbols on the guards' masks must mean something. I think I came up with some bullshit thing about
PlayStation.
the circle guard is like peaceful because they're not armed. They tend to keep their mouth shut. They're mainly like your cleaners and stuff. Your triangles, I think I said it looks kind of like a bullet. They're usually armed. They're the executors. And then the squares are sort of your commanders, your leaders. We were listening to the podcast with our eldest, and we think that he's kind of nailed what those symbols mean. And he said it's the number of sides each shape has.
Yeah, so a circle's only one because it's infinity,
Yeah. Triangle is 3.
and the square's 4.
Yeah. So the higher the number of sides you have, the higher you are in the hierarchy. That might also explain why the frontman's mask is so jacked up.
Yeah,
It's got a shit ton of different like poly.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that kind of symbolizes him being right at the tippy top of the hierarchy.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I prefer that theory over my fucking weird PlayStation menu theory that I had.
I'm not gonna lie, that was quite funny and so not right.
So episode 4 starts with the Glasses character, player 111, who was introduced in the last episode. If you remember, he was being taken away by the guards and led somewhere, and he was being fed clues about the game. We see kind of what happens, and he's taken away by a triangle guard again following that game. And as he's being taken away, a square guard who is in sort of a CCTV monitoring area freezes the CCTV camera so that you can't actually see where this guy's being taken. Very secretive. So something's definitely going on.
Yeah, it's like he rewinds it and deletes it.
Yeah, so it's almost like these guards don't want those at the very top of whoever's running this game to know what they're doing.
Or anyone to know what they're doing.
Anyone. They want no record of this guy being fed details or doing whatever he's doing when they take him away. So back in the common room, Gi-hoon, as they're being taken from the honeycomb game that they just played back to the common room, Gi-hoon has a flashback to Sang-woo where he made out that he had no idea what the honeycomb game was going to be. They all gather, all of the good, I want to call them the good guys. Nobody's good in this situation, but you've got the guys we remember, Gi-hoon, Il-nam, Ali, Sang-woo. They meet and they...
Before that, after he has the flashback, El-nam turns around to Sung-gu. No?
Il-nam and Sang-woo! I was thinking of El Nombre.
Old man.
Il-nam thanks Gi-hoon.
Yeah.
And he does this really weird, like, with his tongue and says, thank you. And Gi-hoon says, what for? And Il-nam says, the licking. I was seeing you lick that honeycomb gave me the idea and you saved my life during that last game.
Yeah.
Ali checks on Il-nam as well, makes sure he's still doing okay. It says that they're a team. Sang-woo apologizes. So this is after Gi-hoon has just had the flashback, and you kind of, I don't know if you saw it, but you kind of see, well, first off, Sang-woo apologizes for suggesting that they split and operate separately and choose different shapes. He kind of admits we should have been a team. We should have gone for the same shape. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's like Gi-hoon hesitates for a second. He's deciding whether or not to have a go at him and say, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, or in this case, he just drops it and goes, no, it's, you weren't to know. I made it. We all made it. That's the thing that matters. He also says that picking the umbrella was his call. So he's kind of accepting that he's made a pretty poor choice.
Yeah.
But we as viewers know that Sang-woo was a bit of a dick because he knew exactly what the game was, and he also knew how he could have made it so that Gi-hoon had a much easier time.
Yes. We're then told how many players were eliminated. So they say 79 players were eliminated in the last game, and it's now at 34.8 billion won.
Yeah. So they then call for their next meal, and they're all given a single egg and a bottle of what I guess is Squid Game's branded water.
I want some.
It's these green bottles that has the Squid Game's logo on, the circle, triangle, and square. And I want some as well. I might have to look online, see if we've got any of those bottles. They look pretty cool. One of the first people to get the food is player 101, who's the sort of bully gangster character. And he takes his egg and bottle of water and basically goes, oh, is this all we're getting? What a load of shit.
It's quite funny though, because he cracks the egg on his forehead.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is all I get for nearly fucking dying.
But as he's walking away from the line, the queue that they'd just been in to get their food, the crazy lady, I can't remember her player number. 212 whispers something in his ear. And player 101 and his little gang of friends who he has kind of built push back into the line. They push in front of this woman.
So the numbers I got was 274, 303 and 040.
Yeah. So they all push back into the line to obviously get seconds. The woman who they push in front of basically says, get out of the line, you're pushing in. And 101 turns around and he says, shut your mouth and grab an egg, and kind of intimidates her a little bit. Now, when everybody has come and got their food, because they've pushed in, obviously there's 5 people at the end of the queue who now don't get any food at all.
Yeah.
And they reach the end of the line and they kind of go, where's the rest of the food? It's our turn. The guard says, we made the exact amount of food for all of you. And the 5 people say, well, no, that's not fair. We haven't been fed. And the guard reiterates, I think he might point his gun at them and says, we made the exact amount of food for all of you.
Yeah.
Then the woman who was behind 101 when he pushed in points over at the 101 gang and says, they pushed in. They had seconds. They stole seconds. And one of the 5 that didn't get fed, a little guy, I feel really sorry.
271.
Yeah, 271, who I feel really sorry for. He's a very small person, gets really angry about this and goes over to the group of people and basically says, who do you think you are, stealing food from us? Now we don't get to eat, and you guys had twice as much as everybody else. He gets in 101's space. 101 teases him like almost like a school child, like, you know, is this your water? I don't see your name on it.
Yeah.
This angers 271, and he attempts to grab the water back. He's then punched by 101, and he has the shit beaten out of him.
Yeah, it's like, but 101's saying, like, how dare you not want to share your food?
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on a minute, he hasn't shared his food because that's not sharing. You've took his food.
Well, it's typical schoolyard boy stuff. Yeah, it's you see it all the time on TV, you know, like, oh, is that your chocolate milk? You ain't gonna finish that. I love that. Yeah, that's mine. And also your lunch money. Yeah, you know, share the wealth. I'll have your lunch money. Yeah, I'll look after it for you. You know, it's that typical shit. But he beats the shit out of player 271 to the point where he beats him so badly, we think he's knocked out.
Yeah.
He's bleeding quite badly. The guards do nothing while all of this is happening. And after 101 has done what he's done and gone back to join his 4 other cronies, Sang-woo goes over and checks 271's pulse, looks at Gi-hoon and says, no, he's not made it. He's dead.
Yeah.
Gi-hoon then goes mad and starts shouting at the guards. He walks over to them and says, hey, this guy just died. This guy's just been killed by 101. He's a brute. And as he's yelling at the guards, we hear 271 eliminated, and we see the P bank that's kind of hovering above them all fills with more money. So we learn a couple of things here. We learn that not only will the guards sometimes not step in when there's kind of infighting and violence, but actually nobody gets eliminated for killing other people.
No, but the person that is killed is eliminated. And the money
is added to the pot. So
Flying Pig changes to 34.9 billion won.
Yeah, but the thing we learn from this is there's no real penalty for killing other people. And also, in fact, if you kill other people, more money is added to the pot.
So it gives them an idea.
There's then the incentive there to kill other people outside of the games because it lessens the amount of people still in the game. And also it means that more money gets added to the pot.
Yeah.
Gi-hoon, as he sees this money fill up, looks absolutely horrified at what he's seeing. And you can see the again, the gears turning in his head that he's now realizing we're not safe, even outside of the games. Then we see more guards enter the room, carrying one of the iconic gift boxes, the black and pink bowed gift boxes. They put the little guy in the box and they take him away. Yeah. The cop character, who now has a square mask, is stood in between two incinerators facing away from the other guards.
Yeah.
Don't know quite what he's doing in the corner, but he's approached by a triangle.
He was just putting on the square mask. That's what he was doing.
Okay. He was putting his mask on and he's approached by a triangle guard who comes up behind him and says, "What are you doing here? What is your task?" The cop character turns around wearing this outfit. He's got the square mask on. So obviously he's the rank above the triangle guard who's kind of questioning him. And the triangle guard suddenly shits his pants, sits upright, kind of, apologies. What do you want me to do, sir? And the cop he uses a line that was used against him, which is, "Don't you know you're not supposed to talk to people of a higher rank than you?
Did you forget the rules?
Did you forget the rules?" And the triangle guard just goes silent because obviously he doesn't want to be fucking killed. And this makes him look more like a legitimate guard as well, which I think was quite smart of him.
Yeah.
So we then see where this Glasses character keeps being taken to, and he's in some very, very run down, almost like an operating room. And we see what he's being asked to do by the guards, and he's extracting body parts from these bodies. One that he's taking at the moment is somebody's eyeball.
I missed that bit.
So we now know what's actually happening with this guy.
Yes, there was a harvester.
Yeah. So back in the common room, Sang-woo says that they should probably stay awake tonight to avoid being killed, as the 101 gang seem like they're planning something. And they do look very, very shady. They're stood off in the corner by themselves. They keep looking around at people. So Gi-hun passes the message on to Il-nam and tells him not to go to sleep after dark in case something happens. Gi-hun also then goes over to Sabyak and asks if she wants to join in case something happens. And he says, if something does go down after dark, come over and stand with us by my bed.
Yeah.
Sabyak says, "I don't trust anyone." And Gi-hun says, "That's not how it works here."
Yeah, you don't have the right to trust people. It's you need to trust someone to survive.
If somebody extends an olive branch, you take it in that situation, I think. Again, we then go back to the incinerator room, or the operating room, I guess, near the incinerator room. And we see the Glasses character's getting a bit impatient. He's doing the work for these guards, extracting these organs, but they're not really giving much in return. So he snaps and says, "Enough. I'm not doing anything else until you tell me what the next game is."
Yeah.
The guard doesn't tell him straight away what the next game is, but he gives him an egg and says, "We gave you all less food on purpose. And the reason for that is there's going to be a fight that breaks out tonight." And the Glasses character takes this egg. Obviously, he goes back to the common room, but on his way, he goes to the bathroom where he then eats this egg. And as he's going through the egg, there's the familiar pink bit of paper.
Yeah, they're warning to make friends with the toughest people in there because they can't protect him inside
the game. They can't help him. So they say...
Inside the common room, they can't help him.
So they say partner with the strongest people.
Yeah.
In that group.
Because the whole point of this little mini game is to wheedle out the weak.
Yeah. So after the guards tell him that he should go back and stick with the strongest people to survive so that he can carry on working with them, dissecting the bodies. And the Glasses character does make a point of saying, "You guys need to keep me alive or I can't keep doing this for you because I'll be dead." He's looking around, trying to take their advice. Who are the strongest people? And he sees 101's group. He goes over and says, "Let me join your group." And he says, "I'm a doctor. I might be useful to have on your team." And the crazy lady makes a joke and says something like, "What are you going to do? You're going to give me a shot if I get sick?"
Yeah.
So 101, I think, shows him a little bit of mercy. He takes the piss out of him a little bit, but he says, "Tell you what, tonight, do yourself a favor, stay in the corner somewhere, in the dark, out the way. Don't make a sound or I will kill you. I'll come for you, basically.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine." The doctor, I guess we could call him a doctor now if he knows how to extract organs and stuff.
Doc
whispers in 101's ear that he knows what the next game is.
And 101 is obviously Penis Head.
Yeah. Penis Spaceman.
Penis Face.
The lights are then switched out later that evening. Everybody goes to bed. And we see that the front man is watching the action still through now heat-seeking cameras, because obviously in the dark you won't see anything on a regular camera. After the lights have gone out, 101 gets out of bed and we see his sort of heat signature on this camera, and he goes over to the woman that initially pointed him out and said they're the guys that have stolen the food, and he kills her.
Yeah.
With a broken bottle that he was holding earlier that he took, that should have been the short guy who he killed, player 271. The frontman then gets the guards to make the lights strobe to flicker on and off really fast. And at that point, it's absolute chaos. Everyone starts fighting each other. They're tipping beds over. They fighting. They're punching each other. They're tearing the beds apart and using the metal from the beds to like knock each other out and stuff. People are basically being killed. 101 attempts to kill Sabiak. She's like the first person he goes for, but she manages to fight him off and gets away after another player leaps on 101.
He manages to get out of a knife as well, doesn't he?
He does. But the guy that's just jumped on 101 gets overpowered really easily, and 101 manages to pin him down and kill him with this knife. Gihun is also attacked by player 113, who is
just a random 413.
Oh, possibly. Might be 413. But it's a random player. But Ali and Sang-woo join in and manage to help fight this guy off. And the three then make their way over to Ilnam's bed. They're obviously wanting to go over and check on their team, buddy, to make sure he's okay. But he's not in bed. He's gone.
Yeah.
So they're shouting for him, but they can't find him. We then see that the guards are all waiting on the other side of the door to the common room. So they know shit's going down inside. They're all armed. They're all stood there waiting. And all you can hear on the other side of the door is this chaos, people fighting and killing each other. We then see Gihun. He's stood at the meeting point at his bed and he's looking around trying to, I guess, see Ilnam or Sabiak or just a friendly face. And Sabiak comes dashing across the room. And it looks like she's made her choice. She's kind of sticking with Gihun and friends.
Yeah. Then penis face.
The two are then attacked by player 101. He starts trying to fuck Gihun up, but Ali, swinging a metal pole around, manages to kind of get him off. 101 says that he doesn't get what the problem is. He's just trying to cool some people and make it easier. And Sabiak is now on Gihun's team. We then see that Ilnam is actually on one of the very, very top bunks. I think it's like 3 or 4 bunks high. And he starts shouting at everyone saying, you need to stop. We're all going to die here. Please stop. I'm afraid.
I'm scared. Stop this nonsense.
Stop it. And you feel really sorry for him because he's just this frail old man, you know, trying to stay out the way. He doesn't want to see anymore. Doesn't want people dying around him.
Yeah.
And at that point, frontman basically sends the word down to the guards that are hiding behind the door to say, go in, stop it now, we're done.
Enough's enough.
Yeah. They then storm the room. Everybody is told to drop their weapons, so they're all dropping their poles and knives and broken bottles and whatnot, whatever they managed to get their hands on. And they're told, put your hands behind your back. Some of them are searched. And I know that Sabiak's knife, which is now held by player 101, is taken by one of the guards and confiscated.
Yeah.
As the guards are going around and I guess assessing the damage, the young cop character, goes and walks up behind Gihun and says, player 456, is there a man named Hwang In-ho here? And Gihun says, I don't know, we don't use our names here.
Just the numbers.
And then the cop character walks away. That's the only thing he says or asks of them. After everything's calmed down, Gihun asks Ilnam if he's okay. And Ali says they were worried about him when they couldn't find him in his bed. They then decide to share their names. So this, I know we've been using their names quite freely. We already knew Sang-woo. We already knew Gihun. So we start with Gihun, or Ali actually says, I already know your name. And
this is cute.
He says, can't remember what he says. He says like Son Dong or something.
It's where he's from.
He says, I already know your name, Son Dong. And Sung Gi-hoon says, that's not my name, that's where I'm from. Sang-woo's introduced himself. We learn he's Cho Sang-woo, or we already know that, but the other characters learn that his name is Cho Sang-woo. We learn Ali's full name is Ali Abdul, and he's from Pakistan. Gi-hoon asks where Pakistan is, and Sang-woo says that's North India. We also learn Sabiak's name. Although we've been calling her that, we don't actually officially know it until now. And she says her name is Sabiak. And Gi-hoon makes a comment and says, that's a pretty name. I don't think it fits you, but... And they then ask Ilnam what his name is. Bearing in mind, we haven't established Ilnam's name yet.
Yeah.
And Ilnam struggles. They ask his name and he says, oh, my name is... And he's really thinking, really straining himself. And I think Gi-hoon recognizes that because he says it's fine.
You've been through a lot tonight.
Been through a lot. When I'm stressed, I forget my home address and even my social security number I forget as well. As he says this, Il-nam looks really sort of disappointed himself and almost heartbroken because this kind of indicates that his brain tumor might be progressing quite rapidly if he's forgetting his own name.
Yeah.
We then see what's happening with player 101's team, and he's actually being sewn up or patched up by the doctor. 101 says, I guess that's why everyone says you should have a doctor in your family. He did come in useful after all. And after counting, they find that they've killed 27 people in that little scuffle.
But does that add up though? Because like it was 34.9 bill and now it's $1 billion and now it's 37.9 billion won.
I don't know.
It's 100,000 won.
Crazy lady calls 101 babe and says they did really well. And 101 says, you're too old to be talking like that. And she says, but speaking of old, how old do you think I am? And immediately he says 49. Which is
doesn't look that old.
She doesn't. I think he was just trying to insult her. But she then says, try again. So he says, okay, 39. And she says, no, try again. And
She's like, try again.
And he says, 19. And she says,
boy,
bingo. You're a quick learner. And one thing leads to another. This scene's quite...
Well, he's like, what do I get for the reward?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'll have a think in the restroom.
This scene's a bit cringy. Essentially, they go to the toilets and they have sex. There's a couple of things that happen in there, though, while they're having sex. And that is that the crazy lady recognizes that 101 and the doctor seem to be hiding something from the rest of them. She keeps calling him babe as well. It seems to be like a recurring thing. So she's quite attached to this guy already. She asked him to swear that they'll stick together throughout this whole thing. And he says he will. He swears that they'll both get out of there together. She then asks for his name. He asks why, and she says she just wants to know it, which I guess if you're having sex with someone, you probably want to know their name.
Maybe. Depends how drunk you are.
That's one of the things that I would like to know. And we learned that 101's name is John Doksu, which I believe, after Google translating, translates to snake penis head. That's not true. I didn't actually check that.
You smug little smile. Like, I got you on this.
Did you believe it?
No.
Oh, shit.
That's why I just looked at you like...
But after this whole calling him babe, making him, calling him babe, making him swear that they'll get out together and everything, she says quite seriously, if he betrays her, should kill him.
Yep. And he goes, you are the reason I think I may die tonight.
And then they have sex.
Ew.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
It's very corny. And okay, I am a girl. I do like a little bit of corn, a little bit of romance, but not by penis face, having sex in the toilet with a crazy lady. And yeah, sure.
And a cigarette during sex. I've heard of a cigarette after sex. I haven't heard of a cigarette during sex.
Well, I think they finished when they was talking and they started again.
And then they go again, yeah.
Yeah.
So we then see the next scene, which is that the young cop character is back in his room, in bed. The little voice over the loudspeaker says, congratulations on another good day's work. We then see that the cop is hiding under his covers again, writing notes on his phone about things he's seen, things that he thinks might be happening. And we hear the coughing coming from the next room again. And although we heard that the night before, this time the young cop listens a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And he kind of figures out that this guy's coughing way too much. And actually, while he's got his notes app open, he notes it down because it's actually Morse code.
Yeah.
And he figures out the guy is coughing number 29, which is the cop's guard number. It's guard 29.
Well, they said when in the harvest room, didn't they? They said, where's 29?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, 28, where's 29? He says he didn't show up.
Yeah. So presumably the next day, everyone in the common room awakes. They've got the little classical music that plays as a sort of alarm to wake everyone up. The lights come on. Gi-hoon comments that Il-nam looks absolutely exhausted. Has he been up all night? And Il-nam says, yes, he thought they would attack again. Il-nam says, don't worry too much though. You don't really need sleep when you're old. And he couldn't help when they were attacked in the evening. So this was the least he could do.
Yeah.
Be to wait up and guess do the night watch. We're then told the next game is going to begin. And that this time they're going to be playing as a team. They'll have 10 minutes to complete whatever game this is. And they need to make a team of 10 people. Now, as soon as this suggestion is made, 101 says to his team that they need to build a team of strong men.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they've already got a woman on their team. So one of the guys on 101's team says, well, what about the girl? And 101 just kind of looks a bit shady. He doesn't say what's going to happen, but
yeah.
Like
the camera goes to, I think it's 040 and 303 with Crazy Lady. And she looks up and smiles and waves at him. And it's just like,
Yeah.
And does that.
He does a fake smile back.
Yeah.
A fake.
A smile, but I'm not into you.
So he's got some kind of devious thing in the line for this one.
Yeah, because he already knows what the game is because old Doc has told him.
So back on Gi-hoon's team, we see that Sung-woo has also had the same kind of idea as Player 101, which is that they should build a team of big, strong men.
Yeah.
Sung-woo points out that they've already got an old man and a woman on their team, and really they need strong men. So I noticed that at this point, he wasn't suggesting that they throw Sabiak out and throw Il-nam up.
No, he understands they're a part of the team. He's just saying...
Yeah, the people we bring in now to the team should be big, strong.
Because I think he says statistically, men are better at games than women.
Yeah, and he suggests that, well, there's 5 of them now. If they all go and find one extra person, bring them back to the team, they'll have their 10. So they all agree to do that. We then got a small montage of members of the team going up to other people, asking, do you want to join our team? A couple of notable ones is Sang-woo goes up to a guy and says, you look like you're by yourself. Do you want to come join our team? And the guy says, yeah, but my wife also needs to join the same team as me. Can she come too? And Sang-woo says, no, we've already got a woman on the team. We can't have any more.
He says we've already got too many women.
We've already got too many women. Yeah. We see Gi-hoon. He goes up to a guy and he recruits him quite easily. He says, do you want to join our team? Presumably the guy says yes. Sabiak notices that there's another young girl sat at the top of one of the flights of stairs that lead in and out the room.
Yeah.
So she goes over and the girl is sort of quite aggressive at first and says, what do you want? And Sabiak says, come play with us. The one we see struggling is Il-nam, and that's because he is a little frail old man. Nobody's going to want to join Il-nam's team.
Yeah.
Because everybody has the same idea seemingly, which is you want to go for the big, strong guys.
Yeah. Sung-woo then tells the man and woman that they can't join because there's too many women already on the team. So Penis Face tells Crazy Lady that the team's full, so she can't join. And Crazy Lady gets on her knees begging, saying, please let me join, I'll do better. I'm sorry for whatever I did, I'll do better. And Penis Face says that it's okay, they'll work together on the next one, they don't need to be together on this one.
Which is really shitty to say because...
he promised her having sex.
Well, yeah, but it's not like, aside from the promise, it's not like you are literally playing a game where it's like, oh, you can have, the next turn. It's like, no, you might be fucking dead. There might not be a next.
Well, he's hoping she's dead, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you can kind of.
And she's touching his face, saying, oh, babe, please. And he literally throws her to the ground and says, stop calling me babe, sweetheart. It's creepy. I don't like it. And he's on about how that he knows she's only using him. And if you call me baby, sweetheart or anything like that again, I'm going to slit your throat. And she gets up and squares up to him and basically says, you promised me that we'll be together. I told you if you betray me, I'll kill you. And he basically just laughs her off.
Doesn't take her seriously at all.
Yeah, but this is also then when, just before then, I just want to mention, like, when Sabiak approaches 240, the other girl, and the girl's like, what do you want? Her voice reminds me of another actress, an American actress from 27 Dresses.
Don't know what that is.
It's, do you know Izzy out of Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
She's in it. She's the main character. And she's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's a rom-com. But I'll show you a clip. And it's really funny because her voice is spot on. Like the snarky attitude, the sarcasm. Her character just reminds me from... like, she's in other movies and she kind of plays the same kind of character in the movies as well.
Sang-woo then has a bit of a go at Sabiak as well, because as he's looking around, he sees that actually now they've got more women. So he says to the new girl, I forgot her name, that Sabiak brought back.
I don't think she said her name, but it's 240.
240, player 240. Sang-woo asks her, who brought you? And Sabiak says it was me. And Sang-woo turns to Sabiak and says, I thought I said no more women. we needed men. And as he says this, the crazy lady, what's her name? Player 212 comes over and basically invites herself onto their team and says, well, you've only got 9 people. I will join your team. And she says that classic line again. I'm amazing at everything except the things I can't do.
She joins the team just as it counts down to 0 as well, so it's not like they have much of a choice but to accept her.
I wonder what would have happened if they didn't have enough people at 0. I wonder if the Squid Games people would have chose their teams for them.
Maybe, but there was 80 players. That's 40. No,
Yeah.
8 teams, sorry.
Yeah, so
Log out today.
yeah, so I mean, I wonder if they would have just either eliminated everyone or maybe chose the teams for them, because you don't want to end up with an odd number.
They'd have rounded them up, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Let's go, you go with them, you go with them.
Yeah. At that point, the guards then say, we're now going to be taking you to the game, which is tug-of-war. And obviously, looking around, everyone thinks, oh, you know, if they're looking at the teams of people they have, looking to the left and right of you, because they're all lined up. Some of the teams are made up of big, strong men. Some of the teams made up of slightly smaller people, quite a few with women in, or more than one woman. And obviously, Player 101's team is made up primarily of big, strong men.
That's all it is, isn't it? You wouldn't accept women.
Yeah. So they're clearly loving life right now because they know that they've got the advantage.
Well, they had the doctor's secret.
They're then taken to the area where tug-of-war is about to happen. And it's basically tug-of-war with one team on one crane, the other team on another crane on the other side with a big drop in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you're pulled and you lose tug-of-war, basically you'll tumble off the edge of this bridge/crane to a massive drop, which would kill you.
Yeah, so they said the next game is tug-of-war. You need to drop your opponents down below. They all sit in lines, teams 1 to 8, and they say, right, we'll find out who goes first. And then they pull out a ball with the number 1.
Which is Player 101's team.
Which is Penis Space's team.
Yeah.
And then they pull out number 7, which is a mixture of men and women.
But they look absolutely terrified when they see who they've got to go against.
Yeah, because these don't look like strong men or women. They look average build.
Yeah.
So they are clearly terrified. And then they get told to go to their stations. So they go up and they're on the podium and they grab the rope. They get shackled.
They get shackled to the rope. The reason being, what if they go over the edge?
If they let go, yeah. If they let go so they don't go over the edge. And they wave the flag and the square below shoots up to say, go. And it's the battle of the strength.
Yeah. So Player 101's team quite easily overpowers the other team, pulls them off the edge of their crane, and they kind of swing and they're all holding on to the rope still. But the rope's threaded through a sort of floating guillotine, which comes down, it goes whoosh, cuts the rope, and they all fall down to their death.
Splat.
We then see that while they're preparing the next teams, the guards are all collecting the bodies off the floor, and one of them is still alive. And this is where we see the guard put this guy in a box, and he marks the box with a bloody cross.
We then go back to the balls, the magic balls, and they pull number 4
Gi-hun's team,
and number 6.
which is a team of random players that we haven't really seen anything of just yet.
Yeah. And as they go up the lift, one of the new team members...
Oh, something to point out, actually. That team that they get put against is also made up of just men. Quite big men
Yeah.
as well. So obviously they've got 2 women and an old man. So
they look quite cocky, don't they?
Yeah, compared to Gi-hun's team, these guys big. They kind of, you can tell they're thinking, we're going to fucking win this.
So on the way up in the lift, old man is saying that tug-of-war, it's not just about physical strength, it's mentally as well. And someone that's new to the team tells him to shut up, old man, what do you know? And Gi-hun says, no, you speak. Let's hear what the old man has to say.
And the old man says, when I was young, I used to win all the time. Me and my friends used to play the game, and I had a strategy that would mean that we were practically unbeatable, even if the opponent was a wrestler.
So they then go onto the platform. They then go onto the platform and they start taking their positions.
Yeah.
And Ilnan tells them...
We get this really cool voiceover from Ilnan, don't we? Yeah, as they're kind of setting up what he's saying.
Yeah, so he's already spoken about this, but it turns into a little voiceover while they're getting ready and they're setting up.
As he's describing it in the lift, we see it put to practice.
Yeah.
So what's some of the steps that he suggests then?
So I think the first step is the leader needs to go at the front and second the command.
Yeah.
Then they need to think about who to go at the back, and a strong player needs to be at the back.
Yeah. I think they decide on Ali, don't they?
Yeah, they decide on Ali. So Gi-hun is at the front, which shocks me because I thought Song-woo would be at the front. And the reason why I thought that is because he is the one that comes up with the ideas.
So I think they said there needs to be
a leader that doesn't give up, that encourages everybody, even when they feel like they're failing. They need to shout positivity.
And I think the Sang-woo, they say the next person needs to be someone who focuses on the back of the player in front's head and focuses on the goal without...
So that makes sense.
Without a worry.
Yeah. And then he says, don't all stand in a row.
Alternate. So person's on the left.
So left, right.
Yeah.
And then he says, for the first 10 seconds...
Don't bother trying to pull. Just
don't
literally
pull.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground, lean back, abdomen up, head as near as your neighbour's crotch as you can, your neighbour's groin as you can, and wait as long as you can. Let them get their frustration out first. And then when you see them slipping, this is where you need to go for it.
Yeah.
And that's when you hear...
So as Il-nam's describing this, Gi-hoon's keeping a careful eye on the other guy, on the other side, his opponent.
Yeah.
And his foot slips just for a second. And as that happens, Gi-hoon yells, now, pull!
This is our chance!
This is our chance! And they pull. And they do this really strange, like, huh, 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 huh.
And they're getting there. They're winning.
And
you like see them proper going for it.
And they get the flag over to their side, but the people aren't quite pulled off the bridge yet. But then
they're very close.
They make a recovery.
And this is what you don't expect. To be like, no, we've got to keep going. The other side are like, no, we've got to keep going. And they start pulling and working together and go, hoo, hoo, hoo.
And because the other side have now recovered, you see Gi-hoon's team's flag starting to get further and further away. And Sang-woo suddenly yells, I've got an idea. Everyone take 3 steps towards the edge. And the crazy lady, I keep calling her the crazy lady, but she's pretty fucking sane in what she says here. She goes,
crazy.
She goes, what? Walk towards the edge? Are you mad? Are you crazy? And Gi-hoon shouts, we might as well try it.
Yeah.
And they say on 3, do it. Take 3 steps towards the edge. 3, 2, 1, go!
And all you see is all of them take
either
3
all
steps.
run forward and the episode ends.
And we don't know what's going on.
And that is one hell of a cliffhanger.
Like, what the fuck? Have they just leaped to their death?
Yeah. So, yeah, hell of a fucking ending. I didn't know what to think when we originally watched it because I didn't quite understand what the strategy was going to be.
Yeah.
With that. We find out in the next episode what actually happens. But yeah, what I liked about the ending there was it was all, aside from, I don't know if they did come up with anything for Sabiak actually. They definitely didn't come up with anything for the new guy that's joined their team who said in the lift on the way up that their only hope now was God. And the girl that Sabiak brought back to the team, they didn't really come up with anything for them, but they had Il-nam, who brought the initial idea of, here's how we strategize.
Yeah.
You got Gi-hoon, who's the sort of, keeping a careful eye on the condition of the opponents. You've got Ali, who I think Il-nam says has to be strong and reliable.
Yeah.
Which he's proven himself to be throughout this. The first thing he did was hold Gi-hoon up with one arm. Sang-woo, he said, he needs to be dedicated, focus on the back of Gi-hoon's head and nothing else.
Well, to be fair, he's only focused on saving his own life anyway, so...
Well, yeah, but in this situation, him wanting to survive, he's literally strapped to those around him.
Yeah.
If he dies, they die. If
yeah.
they die...
And he couldn't get out of that one.
No.
He couldn't lie his way out.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when they were told you're going to be in a team, based on the other stuff that Sang-woo has done, as soon as they got into that circle and... not only have they gained an extra woman, they've got Il-nam. I was half expecting Sang-woo to say, I'm leaving the team.
He didn't have enough time, but I think if he had time, I think he would have gone to 101.
Really?
I think he'd have gone to penis face because he has the strongest team.
Do you think they would have taken him though?
Probably because he looks quite strong. He's smart.
Yeah, but it's coming. I mean, one of the things that 101's team said to Gi-hoon's team when they were coming, as they were going up the crane, 101's team was coming down, was, I was looking forward to killing you.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get to face Gi-hoon's team in the tug-of-war.
Yes, they all stuck up for Sabiak.
Yeah, I think he genuinely dislikes them. I don't think he is just playing to win. I think he dislikes Gi-hoon and his team.
What, 101?
Yeah.
I think Penis Face has it out for Sabiak, and he hates the fact that Gi-hoon and his team do try and help people, and they're not. Well, Gi-hoon definitely does, and so does Ali, but they try and help people and they stick up for other people. Because if you remember when he first met Penis Face, he did that really funny dance.
Yeah, I remember.
Sticking up for Sabiak.
Yeah.
So he's got a thing about, even though he only stuck up for her so he could have a go at her, he's got a thing about helping those that are like him. So you kind of see that he does have a heart of gold. He just is a gambler. So that takes over in real life.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the cliffhanger was fucking pissed.
Now we've got to wait.
I'm so glad that both times now that we've watched Squid Games, both the original time plus now, I'm so glad that we didn't watch it where we were waiting for the following episode to come out, because that would have pissed me off having to wait a week.
This is why I refuse to watch anything until it's fully, until at least the season is fully completed.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch Criminal Minds back in the day when it was on Channel 5 and it was one episode a week. And I'd have to wait until the next week to watch it. So now that everything's on streaming, I refuse point blank to watch something until the next episode's on.
Yeah, and it pisses me off when there's I know it's designed to bring you back to watch the next episode, but I think everyone agrees it's fucking bullshit when they give you this, you've got to wait for a week or a month or the worst season finales.
Oh, and you've got to wait 6 months for the next season.
Or a year, or in the case of Netflix, sometimes they just cancel. They do a cliffhanger and then they cancel the series, which is bullshit.
Well, it's like season 2. They brought out season 2 and then there was season 3 will be out soon. But they've just brought out Wednesday and they've only put on half of the episodes on and said, now you've got to wait a month for the rest of them. So why didn't you just bring them out 1 week at a time? Because it's in 4 weeks, you're bringing the rest out. Yeah,
waiting for episodes pisses me off, and hopefully the little cliffhanger that we've left you on won't piss you guys off. Hopefully by the time you discover this podcast, episode 5 will already be uploaded and you can just jump straight into that one to find out what happens.
What is episode 5 called?
A Fair World.
A Fair World.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week with
episode 5, A Fair World, and we'll find out who wins this game of tug-of-war.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling I know.
I don't know what you're on about. I don't know who it is. I've completely forgot. I think as well, between this episode and that episode, we need to have played Duchy.
We may upload, for those of you who don't know, I don't think we addressed it in this episode, but probably in the last one, but Carmel has purchased some of the games from Squid Games. She hasn't managed to get a hold of a massive fuck-off crane. That'll be coming in the near future.
Yeah.
But she has got dachi envelopes and with
honeycomb.
The honeycomb, which I really want to try.
And later games, which we're not going to tell you what they are yet.
And other games, which we will spoil if we were to say, so we're not going to.
So we, in between this one and that one, we'll use it as a promo to encourage people to watch Karma's Killer Game. So keep your eyes out for that. That should be quite fun. It'll be posted on Facebook and TikTok, YouTube Shorts on Bad Karma Network. The Facebook page, TikTok account and YouTube are all under Bad Karma Network. And you can find all of our podcasts on there, including Karma's a Witch and our main podcast, Bad Karma. You can also find us on
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
YouTube, Amazon Music.
Random.
I was losing track.
And you can also email us feedback if you're interested in our Bad Karma episodes. You can also email us at badkarma with a C, podcast@hotmail.com, and give us a like, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do on our platforms. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.